So I'm not dragging it when I say we got a lot of good news to go over today. And it's looking like we could be getting the Rell Season HolyWarX collab a lot sooner than we initially thought. But before we get into all the new information, I feel like a lot of people have no idea about the collab in the first place, since it's been like 5 months and I haven't covered it in like 5 months. But for those that haven't heard about this collab, you're probably thinking, how can two games even collab? It's not like a YouTube collab where they just make a video together. How does that happen? And to an extent, we're still not 100% sure how they're gonna do their collab, but I still got a few theories that I personally believe. In my opinion, how the collab would make the most sense if you do something in one game to obtain something in the other. For example, maybe there's like custom HolyWarX armor in RellC's, but you gotta go play HolyWarX to obtain it in RellC's. And maybe that would be in the form of a quest line, a boss, or they could really get creative with however they want to do it. But the whole reason this makes the most sense to me is because obviously the whole point of collabing in the first place is to get people to play both games. And in my opinion, this is the best way to do so. Just putting like custom armor in the game with like a logo or something isn't really convincing that many people to go and try the other game. But if you can obtain something in a game that you already really enjoy by just playing another game that also looks like it has a lot of potential, that's a really effective way to get people to play both games. But now that you guys understand the collab that's in the works, you guys might be thinking, why am I bringing it up right now? And it's mainly because of the new information both games have just recently dropped. Just a few days ago, RellC's just announced that testing will start after the new video they're gonna drop soon. And then a few days after that, HolyWarX announces they're lifting their media ban and the sneaks are gonna flow like the Nile. And for those that don't know about the HolyWarX media ban, they didn't give us anything for like 5 months, literally no sneak peeks, but they weren't not working during that time, they just weren't showing us anything. And the most logical reason for that is most likely so that they could just have a ton of sneaks and drop them at the same time closer to release. But that's not all that HolyWarX announced. They also announced paid early access, similar to like what Jujutsu Infinite has right now, where you pay like $30 and you can go and play the game early. And I'd be pretty surprised if they're talking about that and they're still not relatively close to release. But I've seen some people complain about early access and say it's just essentially a cheaper version of Tester. And to an extent that's somewhat true, but apparently the testers are going to get more benefits compared to early access is literally just going to get early access to the game. Like Tester and Premium Tester are going to get custom weapons, armors, and things of that nature. And I'm not 100% sure, but maybe testers are also able to test the updates compared to early access would maybe just be able to play the game early. But I'm actually curious how many of you guys are actually going to buy early access, because $30 compared to like $90 for Tester and $250 for Premium Tester is a lot more realistic. I think Jujutsu Infinite had like 15k people buy early access, which is most likely why they're announcing it in the first place. In my opinion, I really don't like early access just because I feel like the game is going to be ready for release, but we just gotta wait a few months for the early access people to play the game before the public can. And that's going to be really annoying, especially as a content creator, because a lot of people aren't going to care about the content because the actual game isn't out for them. But at the same time, I really can't blame anyone for adding it to their game because people are buying it. I mean, Jujutsu Infinite made hundreds of thousands of dollars, probably over $500,000 on that game. And Jujutsu Infinite isn't even out yet, so you know Holy War is making a bag off that, so I can't even blame them because I would probably do the same thing in their position. But if you guys want things like that to stop buying the early access, because otherwise they're just gonna keep doing it. But HolyWarX also gave us a bunch of sneaks, and I actually got to talk to the owner AlphaX about some of them, and he gave me some information that I don't believe has been said, but he said I could say it. So W exclusive or something? Y'all give me some W's for that. We get emotion in here, I'm not gonna lie, but y'all, I appreciate that. But one thing he told me about is race progression, and honestly they were cooking with how they're having this. So I'm sure a lot of you guys seen the goddess sneak where it's kind of like a beast goddess and it's a form of the goddess, like awakening or something. But a lot of people, including myself, thought this was like the best version of goddess and this is like your full awakening, but that's actually not the case. The beast form for goddess, and also by the way there's a beast form for every single race apparently, so demon is gonna have one, fairy's gonna have one, giant will probably have one. Like I was saying, this form is actually not the end game form or your final form. It's actually one of the lower tier forms, or I think it's like if you're in a lower tier you could kind of transform into it as like an awakening, but eventually you will surpass this form and you won't be able to go into it anymore, and you're gonna have a new form which is a normal R15 type of Roblox model. And he actually showed me what that looks like. I'll put the goddess one on screen right now, and I actually really like this concept because initially I thought you were gonna have to be transforming into this beast consistently throughout your entire gameplay, and I wasn't really against it, but me personally, I prefer to just be in like a normal R15 type of model. He also showed me what I'm pretty sure is the demon beast variant. You know how like the goddess has that beast form, this is the demon equivalent, and apparently the demon's final form is going to be like the demon king Meliodas form, and that is actually really cool. I'm not gonna lie, they were really cooking with with this whole concept. And I'm pretty sure the whole race progression system they're gonna have is gonna be a lot more complex than I might be making it sound right now. But regardless, race progression is just a really good thing to add to pretty much any game in my opinion, and it really looks like they know what they're doing with this. Like usually when I see race progression get added into Roblox, it's usually just like adding 1 or 2 moves. So obviously Holy War is going way above and beyond on this, and you gotta think about it, they have a lot of races too, so it's actually really impressive. We also just got this new mob which is from Skyrim apparently. I haven't really played Skyrim, so I don't know much about that, but it also drops armor. But he did also say it's a side quest, so maybe you don't get the armor from like a drop percentage wise, but instead you have like a quest and you complete the quest, and after you complete the quest you get the armor as a reward. We also got this boss which is like a megalodon, which is just a really big shark, and it's actually kind of insane, I'm not gonna lie. At the end of the sneak it shows how big it is, and it's actually kind of insane to comprehend. I assume you're going to be fighting the megalodon on your ship, similar to some of the other sneaks they've shown us of other sea beasts, and I'm pretty confident that the animation at the end is a grip animation, because there's no way that could actually work if it's not a grip animation, because it's killing you, or it's just a one-shot move, which would be insane. But how do you guys feel about them making this game really not a 7 Deadly Sins game, but more of like an MMORPG type game? Because if it was strictly 7 Deadly Sins, we wouldn't be getting things like the megalodon and a lot of the other things that we've been shown so far. And honestly, I'm not mad at it at all. I would appreciate just a normal 7 Deadly Sins game as well, but let's be real here, how much can you really add if you only add 7 Deadly Sins related things? And clearly Holy War is trying to be a lot more than just 7 Deadly Sins, and if we're being honest here, 7 Deadly Sins isn't as popular as it once was, so it's really not carrying the promotion for Holy War. Holy War is carrying its own promotion. Now I don't think this sneak has been shown publicly, so here you guys go, and I'm pretty sure this actually might be the Demon Awakening, because when I downloaded it, it said Demon Awakening, so I'm not even sure. Maybe the other one wasn't. I don't even know what's the Demon Awakening, but I'm not sure. That's what this might be, because this demon in 7 Deadly Sins is so big it dwarfs the end by far, so it's hard for me to even say this is the actual awakening, because I don't know how they're gonna have people play as something that big, or maybe it's just like a miniature version or something. I high-key should have asked him, but I don't want to bother people while they're working, so that's kind of on me. But next we got Boss Day Prison from 7 Deadly Sins. I'm pretty sure that's where like Bond was captured early on in 7 Deadly Sins, but I'm pretty sure they turned it into like an entire island, and on this island you can't fly or use any flying mounts to make it feel like Alcatraz or something. But apparently there's a whole prison system with some sort of rep or whatnot, because if you're a high level prisoner and you get captured, you'll get executed on floor 1. And apparently there's also going to be sandy dungeons below the prison, and we just haven't seen those yet, and I'll keep y'all updated when we do see those. But there's already more sneaks for Holy War that I didn't cover in this video, so I do want to make a part 2 because I don't want to make this video too long. So if y'all do, please hit the like and subscribe button so I know you guys want more Holy War content. I had to rush this video a little bit because college has me really busy, I'm not gonna lie, but Holy War honestly looks really amazing if I'm being honest, so I do want to cover it more often if y'all are down to actually watch those videos. Thank y'all, love y'all, later.